Sis Nwabisa, congratulations on this book. I know bengekho lula because at the end of the day, you had to air some dirty laundry. Ngaphambi kwethu. Into engekho lula kakhulu. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mafas.
Cela simkhawule izandla kakhona. This is a big milestone. Refined by Maskaz. It's a deep title. Why the title?
Refined by Maskaz. A scar, first of all, is a mark on the skin after ubune wound or an injury, but that has healed. That is a scar. So it shows that my scars have healed. If my scars have healed, what have they done to me? Have they destroyed me, or have they made me a better person? When I reflected on my life, when I looked back at the things and the misfortunes that came my way, when I look at those things now, they don't hurt me anymore. I don't feel like crying when I look at them. I don't have resentments. I'm not bitter about them. And when I look at my life now, where I am with the help of God, and look at the position that I was before, I feel like I can safely say I'm in a better space. So if I'm in a better space, those things that have bruised me, those things that have injured me, those things, if they were intended to destroy me or to end my life, that never happened. Instead, I came out of all those things a stronger person. I came out of all those things a different person. Some of the things that I'm doing now are even shocking me. Those are the things that I never even dreamt of. They were not part of my dreams. Some of the things that I'm doing currently, they were not part of the plan. I never planned them. I never prayed for them. You see, when you are growing up, there are things you see your life somewhere. There are things that you see about your life. But the things that I'm currently doing, I never saw them. I never thought I would be able to do them. The reason I'm able to do them now, the reason I'm able to write now a book, it is because of those misfortunes. It is because of those bad things and the bad luck that I experienced. They have made me a better person. So I feel like I'm refined. I'm beautiful now.
Many women are going through, or some have went through a similar experience. Nale yakho. Omnye umuntu uzawubuza ba, what is unique about esakho story?
Mafa's and the house as a whole, each person's story is different. Each person's experience is unique. I'm the only one who can tell my story. No one else. I'm the only person who has traveled the road. No one else. I know what it means, what my story means to me. And my story is my own truth. And I'm not ashamed of my own truth because it brings life to me firstly, before it can give life to the other person. So to me, it is special and unique because that story, the story of my life, brought healing to me. If it brought healing, I believe it can bring healing to another person as well. So I felt that I must not be selfish. I must not hide those things so that those who are still weak, those who are still vulnerable, those who do not have the strength to carry on, they can just lean on me and know that there are people like Nwabisa who have been through these things and they are still standing and they are not shaken. And I'm not shaken.
Wow. You have the guts, wena. But bakhona abanye abangenazo ezo guts because we're living in a society that's so judgmental. Abanye abantu will say that, oh, she's bitter. Abanye will say that you only seeking the attention. Are you concerned about those, or were you concerned about izinto ezinjalo when you took this decision? Uba mawubhalele incwadi?
You see, people will always talk.
Yeah, whether you do right, whether you do wrong.
People will always talk. Whilst I was in my marriage, people were talking. When I got out of my marriage, people talked. I'm writing a book, people are talking. I don't talk about my story, people are talking. So if you focus on what people are saying or on what people think, you will never do anything for yourself.
Wow.
I understand those people. People who think like that, I understand them. And I don't blame them. Because they are looking from a position or a perspective of ignorance. They don't know my calling. They don't know about my journey. But it's only a matter of time that will reveal what is it to them.
Wow. Yes, Snabi, it's your story. But I would like to know the impact now on women who are currently facing GBV, those who are currently trying to heal from the wounds of the abuse. Because yes, you're telling your story, but also when you're trying to heal amanye amanina out there.
You see, Mafa, with my experience, what I've learned whilst I was in that process or whilst I was going through the abuse, one of the difficulties that I encountered was to talk about my situation. And I wanted to hide it. I did not want people to know about it for years. It happened just immediately after I got married. And I said, bazothina abantu. Xa ndinophuma within 3 months, uzawuthiwa nditheni. Let me hide it. Let me not talk about those things. Into ehleliyo kum ke ngoku, when I'm doing all these things, ndicinga laa mfazi ungakwaziyo uthetha woyikayo. Ndicinga laa mfazi uyifihla yi-situation yakhe apretende xa ephakathi kwabantu ibe ngathi all is well. Apretende, lying to herself. You're not lying to the people. You are lying to yourself. Ndicinge abo bantu banjalo. Le ncwadi ndirhalela uba ibe ne-impact to those people. I've done that mistake. I'm owning up my mistake. The mistakes that I've done, I don't want them to do those mistakes again. I just want them to get out of their corners and be able to talk. I'm saying to the people, Ndingulona, Ndingunwabisa, if you want to talk, you must come, I'll listen to your story. Hence the Nwabisa talks. I want to impact to those women who are still believing on that syndrome of bazothina bantu, that you live once. You only live once. And all those stresses, all that depression is taking a toll on your life. If you keep on uyinyamezela justifying the situation, you might end up losing yourself, losing your life, losing the people who love you, your family.
Yes, go. Yeah. You can go on, Kwabizan. Abantu abaninzi maybe nalapha ezantsi will say kumaxesha amaninzi when abantu besemtshatweni besilwa bedivorsa kubakho ngokwaba bantu bachaphazeleka kabuhlungu bashiyeka nezikazi ezibhlungu abantwana. Abanye abantwana are doing drugs because of ezimeko zabazali babo. Abanye abantwana baphumile bahamba bohlala ezitratweni because of imeko yabazali babo. The psychological impact abantwana abashiyeka bena athi umntana be right esikolweni but imeko yakhe ivele itshintshe and abazali ababajonganga nina you busy nalomlo wenu. They say when two elephants fight it's the grass that suffers. You're dedicating this book to your son Amila. The impact of what you went through, how it has impacted Amila, and wena uyenze njani ukuze uAmila ingamchaphazeli in a way yokubana yajike isimilo abe ngomnye umntana aphazamiseke endleleni.
Thank you, Mafa. I won't play the innocent card. Ibe ngathi ndivele ndamcingela umntwana. Andivelanga ndamcingela. I was selfish. I put my interests first.
Sorted, ne?
Okay. I put my interests first. Ndingahoyanga uba ngaba ufilisha njani. All the bad things were happening in his presence. Some of the things he witnessed, he saw them. And he was the first person to ask me questions. He was the first question to ask, Mama uhlelele ntoni? And I would lie to him, saying that I'm taking care of everything. I would make assurances to him that everything will be okay. And yet, everything was not getting any better. Instead, things were becoming worse. You see, at some stage, that's when I said, enough is enough. When I was held hostage with my son and the helper. I wanted to go to work. My son wanted to go to school, but he could not go to school. And when I said that, what about the child? The child is supposed to be at school, and the person said, I don't care. What business does he have in our marriage? Then I realized on that moment, or at that moment, that ndime emanzini amdaka. I realized bandime emqobhozweni apha. And lento ndizama uyenza uyibundukunya asoziphindi lonke. Instead, my son will leave me here and go and find comfort elsewhere. So if I don't do something urgently, I might lose my son. I took a decision there and then. And by writing this book and dedicating it to him, I'm owning up with mistakes. I'm trying to send a message to him, saying whatever you saw, whatever you witnessed, it does not mean kufanele uba kube njalo. I'm sharing lessons there. I'm trying ukumguqula the things that he has seen, to see life differently and to see the efforts. Because I know abantwana ibangathi uxolile. Kwale at the age of 18, it starts again. I just want to erase all that bad memory. I just want you to look at life differently. I want you to know that you can still become a better man. You can still become a good husband to your wife. What you have seen does not mean nawe funeka ube njeyana because you have witnessed that. Those are things that I'm educating him about and giving assurance that I still love you. It is not because I did not love you at first. Some of the things ndizenziswe kungazi, ndicela uxolo.
I'm telling you, it's cutting deep. Nakumuntu ongutata, I'm telling you, it should cut deep. Le nto ithethwa nguSisi Nwabisa, especially if we wanna raise amadoda azakuba amadoda abhetele ukubheka phambili. Is your book a guideline on how to walk away from an abusive relationship?
Yes, it is, Mafaz, I would say, because from the things that I'm saying in the book, I narrate my stories, and a person is able to measure uba ume ndawoni yena. And then if you are able to do that, and you can see that there is still life after. Life does not come to an end. Therefore, a person can draw strength and move on with his or her life.
Abanya omama, they lack a support system. When they face those challenges, ibuhlungu kangaka ifamily ibhekele kude kubo. Kuthiwe wendile because isiXhosa sithi wendile, xa wendile kule ndawo. So yes, because iculture mhlawumbe itsho bawendile. So kumele unyamezele. Ibe ngakanani role ne-support system from your family when you were facing yonke le meko?
I will not lie. My family was there. My family supported me from the beginning. In fact, they saw the things that I was trying to hide. They saw them. And bazama, umuntu akakhutshwe emtshatweni.
Yeah.
You cannot say to a person, get out of your marriage. For as long as you love the person, you support the person. That's what my family did. That's what my mother, that's what my sisters, my brothers, my siblings, my whoever in my, all my family, the entire family did. They would drive, basuke ngapha eRhodana baleqise bezimonti, because there's an urgent matter that is taking place emtshatweni wam. Abayazi noba ndikidnetshwe ndayobekwaphi. But bancame beze, they supported me. Ndiphume Mafa ndiphinde ndingene. Babe disappointed because they were supporting me. Ndibe ndiqonda uba bayadlala.
Yeah.
Ndisamthanda.
Yo.
Ndisamthanda uxola. Andizuyeka. At some point, kwakufuneka umama simzimele. Ikwenze bangabona uba ndibuyelele. Utata uyagula
Nakwehleka umama nyani uyakhumbula.
Utata uyagula usesibhedlele eMonti. Therefore my mom has to come and stay here. And now I'm back with this man. And my family is still furious because he once kidnapped me. And they don't understand. And now we have reconciled. And I understand lam kidnapper wonke.
Guys, kuyahlekwa noba kubi.
It's just that at that time, ixesha lalingekafiki.
Yeah.
But when the time has come, nothing will stop you.
Wow.
So they have been there for me.
Wow. Chapter 2 of incwadi yakho, you're talking about the red flags. I believe many osisibaza ngqine lapha, sometimes they miss or they choose to ignore. Ati umntu sele kukuba athi the red flags were there, zazikhona, but I chose to ignore mhlambi lento uyithethayo. Uveza ntoni pha kule chapter 2, the red flags?
You know, azivele zenzeke. They don't just happen. There are red flags. There are things that they are signaling. But because you are
In love.
and you want what you want, the heart wants what it wants. You just ignore everything. In my book, I mentioned that ilobola was paid on a Saturday. Monday, ndayombamba nentombazana. Was that not a red flag? And ndathunyelwa straight. Akwabikho ne mistake. But I said, I cannot go back to my family and say, andisachat. Hayi andizungachat. Lotyolwe.
Whoa.
Hayi nibethunani, ulotyolwa into enqabileyo. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying from the perspective of women. That's what we say as women. I'm trying to show those things, the realities.
Yes.
Those are the realities. You want to save yourself from the embarrassment, forgetting that you are subjecting yourself to a bigger pain. So, uThixo akayenzi akakusi ngeblinkers. Uyakuvula, uyakubonisa, but wena ungena irobots zibomvu.
Oh. Wow. Ndizanifaka nanizawuvula nje inyoba ye 5 minutes or so ndinifake kule conversation. So ndizawunida ezinye mics nje if they available noba ziyi-2 to roam around nabantu abazawunceda ukuba kukho abantu abaphakamise izandla. Kodwa before I do that, ndifuna ubuza kulo mbuzo, do you still believe in marriage?
Yes.
Why?
It is God's institution.
But how can you believe in something engakhange ihambe kakuhle kuwe, but you still believe in that?
When God created marriage, He had a beautiful plan. It is such a beautiful thing. Umtshato. I still believe in marriage, but it is people abawumoshayo. Umtshato wona on its own awunangxaki.
Wow. Wow.